3 strikes and you're out works in baseball. Chief Flynn thinks that's a good concept when it comes to repeat offenders who want a gun.
State lawmakers are proposing to make a felony for anyone possession of a firearm with 3 prior misdemeanor convictions. That's a lot. How will that help you on the streets?
Well, what we have found is that the overwhelming majority of our people who commit murders with firearms or commit non-fatal shootings have prior criminal records. One year we looked at it and we found the average number of arrests for somebody who shoots somebody is 13.
Wow.
Okay? And so what we're trying to do is work with the legislature to really punish criminals who carry guns illegally and make it harder for them to get them. And I recognize how fraught this issue is. I mean, God help any chief who says anything about guns and law. Because I tell you right now, my email inbox fills up with people who can only type in capital letters and only punctuate with exclamation points.
Are they screaming at you?
Yes, okay? And that's not what we're getting at, and I don't know how we can calm it down. This city has an enormous number of firearms in the hands of criminals. You know, we ran the numbers recently. We've got the highest rate of gun seizures in the country for big cities. Yeah. I mean, Chicago.
Let's show some of that video, because you and I were in the gun vault, you know, and it's just packed with guns.
Yeah.
You pulled 2,400 off.
2,400 off the streets, and more than 80% of them were evidentiary, meaning on a bad guy.
And, and to put that in perspective, the rate per 100,000 is more so than New York, LA, Chicago. Those are the big 3.
We compared ourselves to the biggest cities in America. All right, New York City, which has very tough gun laws, currently seizes firearms at the rate of 48 per 100,000 residents. That's 8 million people. Chicago, by contrast, with 2.7 million people, seizes guns at the rate of 250 per 100,000, which astounds the country. It's higher than New York and Philadelphia combined. Milwaukee's gun seizure rate is 406 per 100,000.
Wow. It's sobering just to look at that video and know that most of those guns were involved in a homicide.
A homicide or a non-fatal shooting. They're involved in crimes. And here's our problem. We need to change the mental calculation of our criminal community, because they're the ones using the guns illegally. Right now, if you're a criminal, okay, it makes more sense to carry the gun than not carry it, because it's more dangerous to get shot by a fellow felon than it is to get arrested by the police and face nothing but a misdemeanor charge. So what we were asking for is the 3 strikes, which at least right now, no matter how many times you're arrested with a gun, no matter how many times, it stays a misdemeanor. Oh, wow. We're saying at least on the 3rd arrest, can we make it a felony? Yep. Okay, that's a real issue for us. Another issue for us is under current law, people that are defined by statute as career criminals can still qualify to get a concealed carry permit, and they do. Okay? And we're asking that people that have 3 or more misdemeanors not qualify for a gun permit. Now, when I say a misdemeanor, I don't need it to like a minor little crime. Right. All right? If you shoot at somebody because you are trying to kill them and you miss them, you can plead down to a misdemeanor of endangering safety. Okay? Well, you still tried to shoot somebody.
You can do that 3 or 4 times.
Exactly. You can steal a car and get charged with being in a car without the owner's consent. That's a misdemeanor. Do we want career car thieves to be carrying guns too? And so on. So what we're trying to do is close some loopholes, make it harder for the bad guys to get guns and put them in jail when they use them. That's our goal.
This is a great conversation. I wish we could continue it.
Thank you so much for coming.